everyone. This is Tammy Dennis Arnold bringing you Seeds of Financial Abundance. Tonight I'm so excited because I'm going to have a special guest, Ms. Yvonne Gamble, who's the CEO and entrepreneur. She is the CEO of Sanpete Financial, which is another segment that we're going to start to add to this segment that is going to not only just talk about personal credit, but we're going to entwine and put it together, show you how to build a personal credit, so therefore you're able to build business credit. Tonight, before Miss Yvonne is actually introduced to you guys, I want to go over a little things that I've been studying about credit. There's a program out there called Rental Karma, and if you are in the network, or if you're trying to purchase a house and you only need your credit score to actually be introduced, or actually the score up higher, say for instance your credit score is 620, but you need a 640 to actually get qualified or pre-qualified to purchase a home, then the Rental Karma will actually give you a 2-year history. It is a trade line. It is the rent that you have been paying to whoever you lease from, apartments, homes, condos, it doesn't matter. What it does is give you a positive trade line that goes back 2 years. So let's just say you decided you want to use the Rental Karma service. What you do, you will sign up, and in 30 days, it will be posted directly to as a positive trade line to your credit report. What that does is give you a positive trade line, and automatically your score increases dramatically. For example, I gave my daughter Shakayla, who had no credit at all, I gave her what we call a Rental Karma. She actually rents for me and her dad, so we were able to put that as a positive trade line on her credit. She was only 18, and at that time she had no credit whatsoever. We was going around to actually try to get her credit started, but as you know, most bank tells you that to get credit, you need to already start credit, or you need to do a secure credit card. At that point, I wasn't sure about the secure credit card, so not only did I get her a secure credit card, but I introduced her to the Rental Karma. Once she enrolled, within 30 days, her credit score went from a 0 to a 697. And hallelujah, was we happy? We was very excited. But that happening, she was able to go to Delta Community Credit Union, open her own checking and savings account. And I did advise to do one thing. Once you open your own savings and checking account, always have your monthly or your weekly payroll directly deposit to that account. I schooled her about what it was to actually do that, what to ask for. Now, I didn't go down with her because I wanted her to understand business, what it takes for her to walk in, be a young lady, and handle her own business. Although I was in the car, but I didn't actually walk into the Delta Community Credit Union with her. She actually walked in and was able not only to secure a credit card after using Credit Karma, but they also gave her her first loan for an automobile, a Honda Accord. So she came out of Delta Community Credit Union after only being in Rental Karma for 30 days with a 697 credit score. She went from 0 to 697 in 30 days and was able to secure her own credit card without having to be a secured credit card, and she was able to purchase her first vehicle. Now, we were so excited that I started to tell everybody that I came into contact that wanted to increase their credit score that would not take a long period of time. Now, with the Rental Karma, what they do, they actually reach out to the person that owned the home. You actually put in the information who you lease from. They do their homework to check that that person actually owned the property. And what happened is, once they found out, they would actually call that person that owned the property, and just to make sure you paid that Shakayla had paid her rent on time. And at that time, it was actually her dad, and he reported she had paid her rent on time. And with that being said, her credit score increased, and still today, her credit score is still high 700s. So Rental Karma is another way of introducing taking your credit score up the next level, 20 points, 30 points, 50 points. In our daughter case, it was 697 points because she did not have any credit. So that is one of the things that I want to discuss with you. And again, we do have a special guest, Miss Yvonne Gamble, tonight, and we will be bringing her on in about 7 or 8 minutes. Another product that I want to talk to you guys about that we offer is the Smart Credit Program. Once you sign up for what we have, the FES Protection Plan membership, all of these services are included credit restoration and smart credit. And let's not forget, with this day and time, we have identity theft. It's on the on the rise. Every 2 seconds, someone's identity has been taken or stolen. So we have to be very, very careful to make sure we're covered. With identity theft, LifeLock will spend up to $1 million protecting your identity. So it's very important that once you sign up with the program that we offer, FES Protection Plan membership, that you go ahead and immediately sign up for LifeLock so your credit can start being monitored at that time. And with Smart Credit, the other piece of the puzzle, Smart Credit will monitor your credit 24/7. So not only that you have LifeLock for identity, but you're going to have Smart Credit. So every time your identity or your social is pulled, every time your credit report changes, every time you have a late payment, you'll be the first to know because it's going to be reported to you immediately by via text or via email. Smart Credit is one of my favorite objects that we have, one of the services that we offer with FES Protection Plan, because it actually gives you the opportunity to check and monitor your credit yourself, as well as having LifeLock and Smart Credit part of your program. Smart Credit you can also enroll all of your credit that you have, your credit cards, your bank accounts. Every time your credit card presented, you will get this little thing that pop up on your cell phone, and you can actually decline the payment at that point instant. So and it's basically for identity theft. So if you're sitting there at home and you know no one should be using your credit card, it will pop up on your phone that someone is trying to actually charge your credit card. And at that moment, you have the opportunity, just press that red button, and voila, that charge is canceled, and it's being reported as fraud or theft. Now, with that being in mind, you have to do your due diligence. Always protect yourself. Always put your identity, all your social, your mailing address. Keep that put up in a safe place. You know, I try to tell all my customers, do not ever walk around with your Social Security card in your hand. If possible, try not to even have all your debit cards, your credit card. Try to only leave the house with whatever you're going to use for that day. And just make sure you have a little cash on you, $25, $50, no more. You know, some people say they have to have 100 because they like to eat. But anyway, just learn to protect yourself, protect your identity, just to protect you and your family and your future. We're going to go to commercial break for a few minutes, and I will be introducing Miss Yvonne Gamble.
Are you ready to increase your credit score? We get results. Restore your credit score. Lower your interest. Here at Trinity Credit Counsel and Financial Services, you can repair your credit score today. We specialize in identity theft, medical bills, student loans, public records, tax liens, collectors' accounts, repossessions, evictions, foreclosure judgments, bankruptcy, and much more. Instagram at Tammy Credit Specialists. You don't have to live with bad credit. We get results. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Establish and maintain good credit. Go to www.elitecredit101.com or text your credit to 678-857-64. That's right. Just check out Tammy Dennis Arnold. Get your credit repaired. Tell them American Hearts Radio sent you. Also, watch Tammy's web television series, Seeds of Financial Abundance. Only on American Hearts Radio Web TV.
Hey, you guys, we're back, and I'm proud to introduce a dear friend of mine, entrepreneur. She's an author. She's how do I pronounce it?
A philanthropist?
Yes, I think so in my own way. But Miss Yvonne, she is also an accomplished speaker, author, trainer, and entrepreneur, CEO of Sanpeak Financial, and she also the founder of Simplified Knowledge. Now, Yvonne, welcome to
Thank you.
Seeds of Financial Blessing. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. First, I want to just thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to just stop by and just hang out with Tammy for a little while.
Okay.
Okay. But what I would like for you to do is just explain to the audience what you have accomplished in life and how you and I became to be business partner and what we're about to do in this, in the world, in the next segment of life. So, we got a lot of things we're trying to do right now.
Okay. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
But I'll try to get it in.
Okay.
We'll deal with the financial services. I've been in that arena for about 35 years.
Okay.
And I started out actually making penny area adjustments to $1 million bank accounts.
Oh, wow.
So our division of the bank was $1 million bank division, And all the clientele that came to us, they would have to have at least $1 million in the bank, and or higher. And if any errors were on there, we only made error adjustments in my department from 1 cent to 99 cents. And you can only imagine what that would cost if someone's got 10 or $20 million in the bank, and how much that would cost the bank if it was an error that we had made. And we'd have to do that across all the markets.
Okay.
So that's how I got into the financial arena. And to get to where I founded the Simplified Knowledge Institute simply because what I found that knowledge was common but not commonplace. And so there were so many people out there that did not understand, the financial arena. They don't understand technology or energy and what's new and what's coming out on the scene. And what happens is, what we find ourselves right now, we're in a transition state. Here in the United States, or actually around the world, we're in a transition. So we're actually we're coming out of the age of mechanics, out of the age of, agriculture, obviously, the industrial age, all that is being left behind. We're even moving away from the computer age, and we're going into a more digital age. And therefore, we'll leave that very soon and go into an even different age. I won't even get into that, because we're really trying to get people to more or less catch up. I'm a technologist, and we stand on the edge of tomorrow. We look beyond and see what we can do and how it's going to work and what that's going to look like. And then we find ourselves coming back into the arena where we are right now, and helping everyone to kind of come along, and that's businesses and industry. And that's how you and I came to know one another, working with the one company that we were working with together. And now what I'm looking at as the CEO of Sanpete Financial Group, with that, we're commercial lenders. Correct. Our commercial lending floor, we go anywhere from 250,000 up to 20 billion.
Correct.
But what I find is most people, I cannot help them because they're not set up on Dun & Bradstreet. So I have to turn customers away at the door. And a commercial lender, anybody in the lending business never wants to, turn customers away.
Exactly.
But if you're not set up properly, then we can't bring you in, and it's too much, on our back end, and then they're not set up to do it. And so you could be probably about a year, 6 months to a year, trying to get them in position. So what we did was we created a new product, a new service, and that's what we offer. And we're offering that, through Trinity Tax Service. Right. We're partnering with them on several different levels. We do the educational services for them. We'll partner with them, on radio shows. Like you said, we're going to be coming back many times because there's so many layers, for that particular product. So I'll kind of leave it there.
Okay. Well, my next question is, as you said before, you and I was actually in the same business, and we learned, and we became friends. And then, we started talking, and then you did your training on Dun & Bradstreet. And I was excited about your training is because I actually set up my Dun & Bradstreet 15 years ago, not knowing the power, the buying power that I had in my hands, only by trial and error. Okay. But I have learned so much more just by being around Miss Yvonne Gamble, you guys. She has educated me. She is teaching me what it takes to go to the next level and what to take my business to the next level. So what we're offering is these classes that we're actually having one June the 9th at Trinity Tax Service in Newnan, Georgia. And what we're going to do is we're inviting business owners out to the class, to the service, and we explain what it takes to build at Dun & Bradstreet. Now, we had a lot of people that was in class, the first class we had, and they actually had it Dun & Bradstreet, but they didn't know the importance of what Dun & Bradstreet or what they can actually do. Most people think because they have a Dun & Bradstreet that they could go out and, purchase things or get lines of credit, but they don't realize that there's so much that has to go into building the Dun & Bradstreet. And that's the part where you have educated me. Even though I have purchased a whole lot through Dun & Bradstreet, I know it's so much more that I can take my business to the next level because of the information you shared with me.
And what we, and I like that you broke it down like that, because what we try to educate people on is this. Many people, especially for those are in the government sector, and they're trying to get government contracts, and they'll tell them get a Dun & Bradstreet number, and then they become very disheartened when they don't get the government contract. And much of it is because there's nothing in their Dun and Bradstreet report, so it's almost like looking into a blank wall and nothing is there, so it's worse than someone having bad credit with no credit.
Yes.
And for a business, this is basically your file is just really kind of put into the round file because there's nothing there, there's nothing to go off of. And what we help them to do is to put the necessary information in there, what lenders are looking for, what governments are looking for, agencies, and what's most important, other businesses.
Yes.
When someone wants to partner with you or they want to build a partnership together, they can look and see what's in there, and then they can determine if they even want to contact you to go into business with you or not. So if that report, doesn't have all the necessary documentation information in there, as well as, a good paydex score, we'll get into that, another conversation,
Yes.
but as well as a good pay history, then you're not gonna look favorable.
And that is absolutely true. I didn't realize the power of Dun& Bradstreet until me and my husband own our own trucking company, and me being a freight broker, they was doing Hurricane Katrina, and they were looking for minorities to come into the business and get contracts. It wasn't until I told them, they waited till I presented all my docs. And the last thing he asked for, well, young lady, do you know what a Dun& Bradstreet? I said, sure, my number is better. I read out he pulled it up. We'll see you Monday in Florida. I said, thank you, sir. He didn't say congratulations. He didn't say anything. He was just shocked. But at that point, I didn't even know. Like I said, just trial and error, building the credit, getting lines of credit from Bank of America. But after Bank of America, again, what you just stated, after getting line of credit with Bank of America, there's come the other company that I never heard of, that I mentioned to you, some of the banks that I'm like, well, where does bank come from? I never even heard of some of the banks that Dun & Bradstreet does business with.
Exactly, and those banks will not do business with you unless you have that, and unless your information is in there and in the proper format.
Yes.
You don't need that. There's information that a whole line of information, just like the door that opens up. That difference between that door when you get on the plane and you're sitting in coach versus sitting in first class. Just, and you're like, oh wow, they got a big party going on up here. So so that's what happened.
Yes. Okay, well, Miss Yvonne, I'm so excited that you took the time out of your busy schedule to come and join us this evening. Is there anything else you would like to share about the other services that we're getting ready to actually start having, with our collaboration that we're doing, and what it means to actually go ahead and set up your Dun & Bradstreet? But before you answer this, let me say this, guys. Before you even consider setting up your Dun & Bradstreet for your personal credit, for your business credit, you have to have your personal credit set up. Now, the question for you, Ms. Yvonne, what is considered good credit for the Dun & Bradstreet for them to even consider doing business with you? Is it like when they're trying to purchase a home that is maybe 680 to 700, or does it need to be higher? I know higher is always better. I know the personal credit can only go up to 850. But I'm just wondering, what is the medium line that an individual needs to have to be able to set up a great business structure with Dun & Bradstreet?
With Dun & Bradstreet, what you want to have is you want to try to get your business credit score up at least above the 620.
620?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming above that for a business, because when you very first set up, remember, Dun & Bradstreet is for businesses. It's not for personal. It's not for personal. If you purchased a home or homes, you would be purchasing that as an investment product, which is fine, but not, just something that you're just going to live in or purchase a car just for your own personal use. It's purchasing it for a business use.
Okay.
So therefore, that's what you really want to get your credit up to, and you're absolutely right. That was the extra I was going to say.
Okay.
That get that personal credit, because remember, what Dun & Bradstreet looks at is it looks at you as a personal character, and that personal character determines how you do your business and how you get characterized in your business. So many times, sometimes what we're dealing with is people will have a certain habit that they do, habit of non-paying, habit of making promises, not being able to keep those promises, making paydates, not being able to keep those paydates on the personal side, and they bring that over into the business side. And that's not good. And that's one of the things that we deal with also when we're going through the education on my side of the Dun and Bradstreet, whereas we help the people to learn not only just simply how to set up the Dun and Bradstreet, but how to be in business and how to be a business.
Awesome, awesome. One more thing I have to ask is to set up a business, your business credit with Dun and Bradstreet. Is there a certain corporation or structure you need to be? Do you have? Can you be an LLC? Can you be a sole proprietor? Partnership. What do they actually need to be so that they can be in good standard to be able to set up that Dun and Bradstreet?
With that depends on what type of industry and the type of business that you're
Okay.
in.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no set standard, what have you, to Dun and Bradstreet, the type of entity that you incorporate as. That depends on what the work that you're doing.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, you guys, we would just like to thank. Okay. We would just like to thank Miss Yvonne. Now, Miss Yvonne, one more thing before you go, because we still have about 5 minutes that you just told us, so we're not done just quite yet. Okay. Is there anything else you would like for us to know? Like how to attend one of the services that we're having, the seminars we get ready to have?
Yes,
Okay.
and we're out there. We're on Facebook. You can go out to the Facebook. You can go to my website, www.sandpetefinancialgroup.com. You can go and you can look us up on @Sandpete Financial Group on Facebook, and you can just click on the link, and there you can register for one of the events and upcoming dates. We have about 15 dates already set up, so these are ongoing. We have them generally bi-weekly. There are other locations even around the city of Atlanta, around the Metroplex, that we do these particular educational seminars in. So you always have a way to contact us, and you can also contact us at our 800 number, which is 832-819-5260.
And when you call, just mention Trinity Tax Service. You'll know exactly where you got the information. Now, Miss Yvonne, I was thinking about earlier some of our conversation that we done had in the past, and you mentioned that Dun and Bradstreet is worldwide. It's not just here in the States.
That's correct.
So I'm assuming you have traveled the world helping big business to be able to get millions of dollars. I'm quite sure you probably have them get billions of dollars.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's generally where most of for our company, Sandpete, not Dun and Bradstreet, but for our company, that's where our very large investors actually come from.
Okay.
They do come from outside of this country, and they want to invest in this country. So that does entail us traveling to their country and then coming back here, bringing that knowledge and that information, and striking those particular deals. And many times we get participation loans where we'll participate, from country to country, and we will arrange that financing for them.
Okay, so you guys, Sandpete, Ms. Yvonne is the CEO. Not only does the company actually structure your Dun and Bradstreet, but they're the one that actually get you the funding.
Yes.
You don't have to look any further. You're getting like a one-stop shop. You actually get your Dun and Bradstreet set up in the proper way, the correct way, to get you the most funding that you can possibly get for whatever business that you actually in. And then what Miss Yvonne does, Sandpete goes out, and they get you the funding. So you don't have to go out once you got your Dun and Bradstreet actually set up. The fund is in-house, so it's all there.
Right.
And I think with businesses and, small, medium, large, it doesn't matter what size, I believe Dun and Bradstreet is just the way for everyone to go. They need to get their Dun and Bradstreet set up. And this way, they're able to have the funding if they need the funding, if it's there. And it's just like a line of credit. If you don't use it, then you only pay for the amount that you actually use.
Correct.
But if you need it, and if it's an emergency, then it's still there. You actually have access to use it. Am I correct, Ms. Yvonne?
Yes, you are. And that's what we pretty much, to businesses who are really kind of just getting off, or they're doing expansion or growth, we kind of promote the lines of credit. But most certainly, we can have in loans, capitalization loans. There's so many different types of financial products. And we work with those businesses to see, it's pretty much designer. It's designer products. As we design that product, it's going to fit your needs and going to fit where you want to go in the future.
Awesome. Good. Well, you guys, again, if you have any questions, you can contact Tammy Arnold at 678-857-8864. And if you're available, you please attend one of our seminar, and the first one would be, well, the second seminar, because we had our first one, which was a great success, you guys. We had a ball. It was fun. I got to know a little bit more information, like, oh, okay, Miss Yvonne, I got to put this into my direct street, because I'm not there yet, and I want to be able to get some of the millions they got sitting there that you're able to purchase, if you need equipment or whatever it may be, We actually just got with a young guy.
Yes,
He owns his own trucking company. He has a 20,000 square feet. He has great credit, but again, like most business people, we use what we have to try to build our business, and that's not the correct way to do it. So Ms. Yvonne has actually, I sit down and watch her handle her business, and she explained to the young man, no, sir, if you owe $200,000, why would we just get you $200,000? You're still in the same predicament you were before you contacted us. Always have enough, more than enough, to do what you need to do, handle your business, and always keep funding for emergency. Thank you, Ms. Yvonne, for visiting us. Seeds of Financial Abundance. Again, this is Tammy Young, and I want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. Thank you.